Welcome back. We have one of our most requested attorneys, Maurice, with us today. We're watching a video from Law and Crime Network. It is titled, Drunk Nursing Student Disrespects Police Before Being Arrested for DUI. So we kind of got a pretty good idea of what to expect here. DUIs are our forte, if you will. So we're going to break this one down, and you guys feel free to tell us what we got right and wrong in the comments.
Have we had anything to drink today?
No.
No.
Our ex just left us. He's actually like en route.
Huh?
Our ex-boyfriend.
Our ex-boyfriend?
Okay. Your ex?
Kind of.
So how much have we had to drink today?
Nothing.
Nothing. So why are we speeding? I'm doing 45 and you're coming up on me like I'm standing still in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. You have your ID on you?
Of course I do. Do you want my passport or which one do you want? No attitude. Do you want to call Katie? You want me to call Kevin?
Not the way to start off a traffic stop on the young lady that's in the driver's seat, obviously.
Right.
Straight up, like the attitude, the entitlement. Obviously, like, I don't care about feelings, police. Like, it is what it is. It's a job. But at the same time, you know how you interact with somebody can speak volumes with how this is going to go down. And right now, she just is so indifferent. Like, I don't give a fuck about what's happening right now.
Right.
And clearly, like, the officer has a job to do. He's trying to get her attention, and she's just not giving it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I see why he maybe suspects that they've been drinking.
Yeah.
I get why he's trying to get to the bottom of it. I think his suspicion is warranted.
Mm-hmm.
But just sort of, I can call Katie, or you're like, what? You're not really all there here. What's going on?
Exactly.
So I'm not saying she's driving drunk yet, but I'm saying I totally get why the officer's investigating this and it seems to be pulling her out of the car next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yank it out and I'm gonna yank you out if you don't come out on your own.
Just don't give me my shit.
Let's go.
Record him. Record him. I got it.
This side. She's refusing to come out.
I'm not refusing anything. Fucking Chicago, except Chicago.
Right above here for me.
Shot. Actually, cops get shot, which sucks.
Talking about Chicago?
Chicago.
Come on, lady, you're in Florida. Keep Chicago out your mouth.
Is she in Florida?
The deputy's uniform, yeah, you can tell that's Florida. They wear the green Gumby looking suits.
Okay.
No.
No? So why are you slurring?
Why am I slurring? Because my boyfriend actually jumped out of the car about 20 miles back. So
I can see why.
if I'm a little bit upset, and I'm also in school for nursing,
4113 switching to.
homeschooling a child at the time, and my ex took 3 of my kids to Chicago.
So what's your best guess? What is this officer about to do?
He's about to start the field sobriety test with the first battery of tests being the horizontal gaze nystagmus. Obviously, he asked her to take her hat off so he can have a clear look at her eyes. I hope he remembers to turn his front-facing headlights off because that can invalidate the test.
This is Florida, so I'm going to assume she is a nursing student and wants to be a nurse in Florida. Don't know how it works in Florida, but I got to guess it's pretty similar to Illinois.
Right. You need a license to be a nurse.
Exactly, right. It's a professional license. And here in Illinois, that is regulated by a board, a group called IDFPR. And they are the regulating body. They can determine, like, do you get your license? Do you not? Can they suspend your license? Not that much different than a lawyer. Like,
No.
we get arrested for something or whatever, they can haul us in and have us answer questions and take away our attorney's licenses. No different than for a nurse or a healthcare professional. So that's going to be a concern. When we represent somebody, that's absolutely something we look at. The strange thing is that IDFPR, they don't oftentimes even necessarily care what the outcome of the case is, right? There's the court of law, guilty, not guilty, what goes on your record. And then there's this regulating body that can look at sort of everything, your attitude, what was actually found in the car, and sort of what the weight of that evidence, what they determined that weight of that evidence was. And it almost, the outcome of the case almost doesn't even really matter as much.
Now it's about the facts of the case. It's about you being accountable, owning up to it, and being straightforward and displaying like the utmost candor as far as the facts of any incident that may affect you obtaining a professional license.
We've represented many nurses and other healthcare professionals on DUIs, and we always refer them to an attorney that specifically handles those hearings with the board, right, with that professional regulation. The takeaway there is there's additional consideration. If you have any sort of those professional licenses, know that before you get in the car, after having some drinks, because it is a whole extra ball of wax, as they say.
All right, so you drove up on me like I was standing still. Talking to you inside the car, you got slurred speech.
I don't have slurred speech. You have to understand everything that I've been through, and 3 of my kids are in Chicago because my ex took them, and we have therapy. We actually have therapists.
Okay, well, I'm not here for that. So do me a favor, go ahead and put your hands at your sides.
Do you want me to do a freaking backflip? I'll do that for you.
All right, so with your eyes and eyes only, what you can do is you're gonna keep an eye on this blue light. All right? So hands at your sides.
Yeah.
It's not even gonna happen.
So how much have we had to drink tonight?
That was quick.
Nothing.
That was not the standard that he is supposed to administer that test to. Obviously, he wants to check for equal tracking, equal pupil size, before he actually goes through the battery of the test for the horizontal gaze nystagmus. He didn't do enough passes. It was too quick. So this would not, in court, I would argue that this is not a standardized test, and therefore it should be thrown out.
Actually, I have my prescription with my contacts if you want to go check it out. Because that's actually a written doctor's note. So if you want to sit there, we can play that game.
All right, so where are we coming from?
Where am I coming from?
Copy, thank you.
My aunt's house in Key West. She's a doctor.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and play this game. All right, so based on your driving pattern, well, not really, I didn't really have a driving pattern, but just based on your, okay, well, good. I don't care about your boyfriend right now.
Are you interested in learning more about DUIs and other traffic laws in Illinois? Well, we've got another channel where we talk about should you or should you not do the breathalyzer and 12 ways that DUI lawyers like us have beaten DUI cases. If that's interesting to you and you want to learn more about the details of these Illinois cases, then check out and subscribe to our other channel. Thanks. Now, let's get back to our reactions.
Do you want to participate in field sobriety exercises?
No, I don't have to. Sorry, Chicago taught me better.
So she is the registered owner, not valid, she's tagged, and a business purposes only.
What do you think about that interaction right there?
I understand where he's coming from. Obviously, you have those officers that will cite every violation of law that they can, cite you to based upon your attitude, and that's well within their authority to do so.
Yep.
Again, I would hope he would, obviously not react to her demeanor and her behavior, and obviously keep a level head and remain professional at all times. But again, he's human. I get it. I'm not excusing his behavior, and I'm definitely not excusing hers.
How much have we had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Oh.
Do you want to take care of people that are robbing people?
Care of people that are driving drunk on my roads.
Shooting up houses out here, robbing people. You want to take care of those people?
I'm taking care of people that are driving crazy right now.
You're making up your own story at this point.
Okay.
Turn around and lock her up.
Yeah.
Like, all this talking is not even necessary.
I agree. That's where I was going with this earlier. I think the officer just ask your questions, conduct your full investigation, which we didn't fully see here, right? And then put her in handcuffs if you believe you have probable cause to make a DUI arrest instead of the arguing. Now let's flip it around. If you're her, is she helping herself or hurting herself?
No, and I heard this from like an officer a long time ago. Like, you cannot defeat what they have as far as affecting an arrest. So she's not helping her case at all. Like, at the end of the day, if that officer wants to arrest her, he's going to do so. Now, whether or not there was adequate probable cause, that comes at a later stage once you're in court and you have an attorney. But she's not helping her case at all and not getting arrested.
She may be able to beat it in court down the road if she actually handled it properly,
Right.
but she's not going to talk him out of the DUI arrest. So
Yeah.
you got to, like, again, you may lose that battle. You're getting put in handcuffs tonight, but you can win the war if you handle it the right way. We have seen in past comments where people are like, yeah, well, it's easy for you to say, you're a lawyer, right? And it's easy for you to say handle it in court. It just serves our own self-interest. I mean, you got any thoughts on that?
Again, you have to think long term, okay? An arrest is potentially expungable on your record, at least in Illinois, if it results in finding of not guilty or dismissal of the charges. If you don't have the means to afford a lawyer, there are public defenders out there. This is your livelihood. This is your background. Can you really put a price on being absolved of whatever it was that they accused you of doing on a particular night? So if you think the arrest is bad, obviously look at your record if you have a conviction on your record, and then look at how that can be way worse, when it comes to job applications, criminal background checks, looking for housing. The arrest obviously is a crappy thing to experience in the moment, but it's not the end of your life. Having a conviction on your record potentially could be derailing.
Yep. To me, I agree with everything you said. To me, and it is a calculation, and it's a hard one. It's in real time while you're interacting with police. But to me, it comes down to probabilities of outcomes. From the moment that started, I would have bet a good amount of money that she's getting arrested for DUI, right? Like, she's just not going to talk her way out of it. So I'd put that probability extremely low.
Right.
If you're out there and you're interacting with police and you think you can talk your way out of a DUI arrest, by all means, go for it. Give it a shot. And if you do it, that's amazing. But if not, you've decreased your probability of winning it in court so much if you're giving them evidence and statements against your interest and all these things. So it's that trade-off that to me is an obvious one. But I get it. If you think differently, give it a shot. But there's YouTube, there's an entire internet of videos of people who tried to accomplish that, tried to talk their way out of a DUI arrest and did it. So that's the trade-off for me.
Do you want to do field sobriety exercises, yes or no?
What do you want me to do?
It's a yes or no answer.
What do you want me to do?
Yes or no answer.
Answer my question.
No, you answer mine. That's not how this game works.
No, sir, that's not how it works.
Yes, that is exactly how this works. It's a yes or no answer. Do you wish to participate in field sobriety exercises?
I want to call my grandpa.
So, yes or no?
Yes or no? Do you want me to do back then? I'm sorry, if someone's drunk, can they do that? Probably not.
That's awesome.
So, yes or no?
Call my grandpa.
I take it back. She's not going to get arrested. She just won this case.
All right, Aaron. So, just based off your coming up on me, like I was standing still, your slurred speech, I believe you're under the influence of alcohol.
Not even slurred speech.
Okay.
It's a lot of other shit going on.
Really?
Like,
Your ex was an axe.
Like 3 of my kids are in Chicago.
All right. So just like we did before, what you can do is you can stand with your feet together, your hands at your sides. So with your right index finger, it's going to be this finger right here. You're going to touch the top of this light. Touch the top of the light. All right, put your hand back down. Okay, the feet together and your hands at your sides. You're going to follow this light that you just touched with your index finger. Without moving your head, do you understand? All right, so with your eyes and your eyes only. Do not move your head. Follow this light with your eyes and your eyes only. Do you understand?
Quick passes.
Right. Keep your head still.
He is not doing that test, right?
No.
That's too much going through my mind.
Hands at your feet together and hands at your sides.
There's a standard. There's a prescribed way of conducting that test. It has number of passes, the distance, the speed at which you pass. And he didn't really do any of that the right way. She didn't help herself either. I mean, she wasn't really following instructions.
Maybe she really is going through something, and obviously the alcohol just like exaggerates all that. 'Cause clearly she's having a little breakdown towards the end of that portion of the test. You can tell.
Yeah.
But either way, that alcohol obviously being a contributing factor to that, he's noting all this stuff.
Are you ready for me to begin? Okay, so right back to where you were with your left foot on the line, your right foot in front of it. When I tell you you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps, you're going to go all the way down, and you're going to count up to 9. When you get down to your 9th step, you're going to take your lead foot.
Can you do me a favor? Just listen. Just stop what you're doing and listen.
I'll take my take.
Take down on the ground. Let's see a straight line.
Oh yeah, there's a straight line.
All right, come here. I got an easier one for you.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What you want? I'm not resisting. Roxanne! I told you to show me what you want.
4113. Female under arrest for DUI.
All right, there you have it. Let's do the officer first. If you're representing this girl, give us a grade on sort of how the officer did. You got any holes to poke in that?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a D. Like, obviously, the initial stop, he observed that she was apparently hauling ass because she caught up to him and just like blew past him. He did it, perfect, not to say perfect traffic stop. He effected a traffic stop. Upon contact with her, again, remember, like DUI is literally one of the only crimes where, the evidence that police have is that which you give them. So obviously him meeting her at the level that she was at as far as attitude and demeanor didn't help his case. Only thing he had was slurred speech and attitude, and obviously how she did on the fields, which can be rebutted in court because that HGN was horrible. Obviously the walk and turn test she didn't help her case, but at the same time, the officer never, in my opinion, never got a chance to fully explain it, or at least we didn't see it on the tape. So I'm giving him a D.
I think that's fair. I'm going to give him a D too. And so let me use this opportunity to walk through sort of the strength of an officer's DUI arrest. One of the strongest parts of their case would be if she did a blood, breath, or urine test. We didn't see that on this video. No idea if she did any of those 3. That is, a chemical test that shows you what is in somebody's bloodstream. Gets introduced in court, can be pretty strong evidence. Assuming she didn't do that, then the next strongest evidence that this officer is going to have in the case against her is her performance on the standard field sobriety tests. And we only saw 1.5 of those. We talked about the HGN. He did not do very well on that. The walk and turn is on her. Like, she just wasn't even like trying. So I think he could have done more to help himself there if he's trying, if that's his goal. And it is to make a strong case against her. The sort of lowest level is if she had refused all those standard field sobriety tests. It's just his other observations. Thick-tongued speech, slurred speech, odor of alcohol, right? Stuff like that. And that's obviously can be pretty subjective. So he had an opportunity there, assuming she did refuse the chemical testing. He had an opportunity to kind of nail down and tighten up the standard field sobriety test, and he just didn't. So I'm going to go with a D on that as well. How about, again, if we're defending this girl, I think her name was Erin. How are you going to say she did?
I'm giving her a C- D+. Obviously, she didn't. I'm not giving her an F because that back bend was amazing. And that little ballerina move that she pulls on the walk and turn, like lifting her leg up,
not bad.
And then stepping forward without even falling down. Bravo, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Obviously, the officer had what he claimed was the odor of alcoholic beverage. She had her attitude. At times, she was not paying attention. During the horrible administration of the HGN, she still moved her head. Obviously wasn't following his instructions, and clearly couldn't, get into a position to even let the officer instruct her on how to do the walk and turn and then do it appropriately. So I'm giving her C- D+.
She should have just shut up, obviously, and not made any statements, she'd be slightly better off here. In fact, I think significantly better off here if she just hadn't done any of that stuff. So for that reason, I'm giving her a D also. I got to say, like, she should never have been drinking and driving in the first place.
Right, and if you are going to drink and drive, don't talk, don't do a backbend, and don't plie on the walk and turn.
Yeah, that's a good advice there. And I want to touch finally on one more thing that we talked about in the video, which is if you have a professional license or there's just more at risk here, it's just not worth it. You're adding an extra layer of complexity and risk when you choose to get behind the wheel and drive. So don't do that. Thanks for watching, guys.